Hi guys, so it is almost 5 p.m. I never, ever do my makeup this late, but a friend came to visit. And you know how rare visits from friends are these days. So that was way too exciting to pass up. So I have had my base on for quite a while. So foundation, cream bronzer, cream highlight, cream blush, and I've set that with some light powder. But that was a couple hours ago, but we are gonna go ahead and do our full face of makeup for the dust collectors. This is a get ready with me that I do every month with Verity. I wasn't sure if I was gonna keep it up in 2019 or 2019, oh my gosh. I wasn't sure if I was gonna keep it up in 2021 or not, but there was enough interest that I figured, what the heck, and I have enough makeup that I haven't touched yet that it seemed like it only made sense to keep this going. So for those of you who enjoy watching this, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna start with bronzer, and I don't have a new product set out for bronzer, so I'm just gonna be using my Physicians Formula bronzer that I'm panning in my past, present, future project pan. So how have you guys been doing? I'm doing okay. Today is MLK Day, so I'm trying to take advantage of a day off to get some filming done, but it's 5 p.m. and I'm just filming my first video now, so I don't know what I've done all day other than hang out with my friend. I have been organizing all of my new projects and started to work on some new products that are new into rotation, and I have been having some breakouts. I have one right there on my forehead and a couple on my cheeks, and I don't know if it's from the new products, the new old products that I'm now using, or if it's from like a hormonal issue or something I ate, but I hope it's not from the products, because that would stink, because I just put all these different products into new projects for this year that I want to work on, and I've only been using them for about a week, and all of a sudden I'm having little breakout issues. So all right, for highlighter, I brought two out, and I'm not sure which one I'm gonna use, but these are the two I brought out. This is a Makeup Revolution highlight, the Vivid, oh, I'm almost dropping it. The Vivid Baked Highlighter in Radiant Lights, brand new, never used it. I've had it for a couple years. And then this is new to me, the Too Faced Sugar Peach palette. And there are technically two highlighters in this palette, but one of them looks like it's too dark for me to use as an actual face highlight. But this highlight would work fine. This one looks like it's a little bit too dark for me. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm also happy to see that this has a decent mirror, so I'll be using this mirror throughout this video to see myself and to get the hairs that are stuck to my forehead. Considering I did this base makeup several hours ago, it's holding up pretty well. I've been using that old Revlon primer and I've really been enjoying it. Me likey, this is Peach Pearl. I totally bought this palette because of Emily Noel. She raved about it. She did several videos talking about what a great palette this is. Holy cow, I might have gone a little overboard just there. I definitely went overboard, didn't I? Oh my gosh. When I look at myself in my phone, I'm also going to use this to highlight my brow bone with my little Sonia Kashuk brush. I love this brush. I use this every single day. I think I used some concealer to prime my eyes, and that creased a bit, even though I set it with powder. Yeah. All right. Of course, this has a lovely peach smell, which is very pleasant. The peach and fig is my favorite combination. I've said that before, but I love when Too Faced does the peach and sweet fig scent, and I think that's what this is. Yep, peach and sweet fig milk. Love that. I like that better than the actual peach palette. The original peach palette, not the peach mattes. I like the peachy mattes and I like this. All right, so I'm highlighted. I don't think I'm gonna use these blushes. There are 2 blushes in this palette as well. I don't think I'll be using them. I found another blush while I was doing my inventory that I kind of forgot all about, which is a sign of another problem of makeup hoarding. But this is a Shiseido Camellia Compact. And it's kind of a fancy looking blush. I think I bought it off of Amazon or something. And this is what it looks like. It was brand new when I bought it. It wasn't used. But there was an overspray on it that was very pretty, but now that the overspray is gone, it just looks like little matte flowers. And I just take my brush in every area and just kind of lightly swirl it around. Obviously that's a little too much pigment for my cheeks, but when you get it all together, I think it's doable. Let me get this palette back out. At least I hope it is. I haven't used this in so long. Let me just do a little tap. Okay. And that's a nice blush. Am I close enough to you guys? Should I be closer? I never know. I never know if how close is too close. I'm still just staring at that highlight. All I can see is that highlight. I have a hair on me. Okay, I think that's enough blush. That one swirl was enough for both cheeks. All right, let's move on to eyeshadow. I decided when I had started my Pan That palette for this year that for the month of January, I was just going to work on my Pan That palette every single day for the month. Even if I was just reaching for one shade in the palette, I had to incorporate that palette in my look every single day for the month of January. So I do have my Pan That palette out for my look today, but I also have my Jouer Skinny Dip palette. This is 6 shimmery foiled eyeshadows. And I thought, what better palette to pair with my Pan That palette, since I've been feeling like the shimmery shades in this palette are a little bit lackluster. And I was reading in the comments in the first video where I talked about the trouble I've been having with these shimmery eyeshadows in my Pan That palette. And some people were saying that they were having the same problem, and other people were saying, well, I have this Viseart palette and the shimmery shadows are very metallic and very foiled, so you must not have true shimmers. You must have like satin finishes. So I went on the Viseart website and looked up the description of this palette in particular, and they did say that it's a combination of mattes, satins, and shimmers. Yeah, I think they said a combination of matte, satin, and shimmers. So I don't know specifically which one of these. Obviously the top row is all matte, so out of the bottom row, some must be shimmers and some must be satins. But I don't know if I could just look at them and tell. If you guys know which ones are satins and which ones are shimmers, let me know. But I figured this would be a good opportunity to kind of demonstrate what the difficulties are that I've been having with this palette, and so that you could see what I'm talking about, because I really do feel like as much as I'm enjoying these mattes, the shimmers are just not doing it for me. So let me come up with a look. I'm gonna stare at the 2 palettes together for a minute and create a plan.
The iPad died.
Okay. Get off my makeup, please. Okay. Okay, I have a plan and I'm ready to start. By the way, if I haven't mentioned this yet, I do this video every month with Verity. She is Red Dirt and Stardust, and I will have her channel linked down below. So hopefully you will check out her channel and subscribe to her and fall in love with her like I have. So please don't forget to check out Verity before you go. But I'm gonna start with the matte peach shade right here and apply that all over my transition area. I suspect that that's the shade I'm gonna hit pan on first. It's a nice shade to reach for before I do any look, regardless of what that look ends up being. It just is a great transition shade. It looks kind of like a skin color in the pan, but it has a lot of peach on the eye. I've never felt like these are like the most pigmented eyeshadows. They're very buildable. I can always get the amount of depth that I'm looking for, but usually it takes a couple of passes on my eyes before I get there, regardless of what the shade is. All right, and then I'm just gonna take that same brush and that same shade and swipe it on my lower lash line. There is so much more I had on my to-do list today that I got done. I gotta tell you guys, I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. Okay, next I'm gonna take the same brush and go into the coral, the matte coral shade, and apply that more into my crease. That is pretty pigmented, so I tend to go in easy initially and just blend it out really well, and then I can add in a second layer, but it picks up a lot of product. It's just a really pretty shade though. Now I feel like the right eye is a little bit more pigmented than the left. All right, let's get them evened out here. Is that better? I think that's pretty even. Considering how uneven my face is, I think that's pretty even. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take a little bit of this on the lower lash line. All right, next I'm gonna take the matte purple, the deepest purple shade right here, and a little pencil brush, and I'm gonna kind of outline my outer V. So my friend that came over is Jamie, and you guys know I talk about Jamie pretty regularly on this channel. She lives very close to me. We live in the same town, and we've been friends since college. And she definitely fired up my love for makeup. It was there, it was definitely there. I had an aunt before her that used to give me little Clinique lipsticks, and so I definitely was loving makeup before Jamie, but Jamie really like took it up a level. And we would go to the mall and go shopping, and she's the one who taught me that, like, if you go to, we'd go to Marshall Fields back when it was Marshall Fields, and if you spent a minimum of $25, you would get like the little gift bags. And before that, I really didn't realize how much free makeup was out there. And she was the one who really turned me on to the information that, like, there's a lot of free makeup. If you buy a little bit of makeup, you can almost always get free makeup. And I did not realize that until her. And we definitely had a lot of fun shopping back when we both had a little bit more money, disposable money. Like, we didn't have kids, and we were newly employed and didn't have as much responsibility. And we would go to the mall together and buy a lot of makeup and other stuff, but we bought a lot of makeup together. And she's also the one who's much better about decluttering. And so she buys a lot of stuff, and some of it works for her, some of it doesn't. Some of it she realizes she's not using, and about once a year or twice a year she declutters. And she's got certain people that she knows will take her decluttered items. And it's not just me, I'm one of them. She knows I will always take her decluttered items. But she's got other people that she gives her decluttered items to as well. So it's not always me, but a lot of the stuff that I have and use is stuff that she decluttered to me. And that's how I ended up with so much stuff in the first place, because sometimes we went shopping together and bought the same items, and then she would decide she didn't like it, and then I would have 2 of the exact same items. So a lot of my doubles have come from her as well. She's the one who came to visit earlier, and she saw I had all this stuff laid out for this video, and she's like, oh, what's going on? I was like, oh, I need to film a video at some point today. I don't know when. And she's like, I've never watched one of your videos before. And I'm like, I know. She's like, I should probably watch one of your videos, shouldn't I? And I was like, I talk about you all the time. She's like, you do? Yeah, people know who you are. She was like cracking up. She's still not gonna watch one of my videos, and that's okay. I don't need her to watch my videos, but when she admitted to me that she's never watched one of my videos, it really made me laugh, because I knew she'd never watched one of my videos before. Okay, so that's about how I typically set my eye looks up. Sometimes I do browns. I've been using these colors a lot. I like these colors, but this matte brown is also just a really nice matte brown. And when I want to go for a bronzy look or a more neutral look, I can pair the peach and the brown together and they work perfectly. But I figured you guys might like to see the coral and the purple in action. So just to kind of show you what I mean, I'm gonna take this first shade right here, the lightest of the pinks, and I'll swipe that all over my eyelid so you can see what I'm talking about. Like, it's okay, but it's not amazing. And maybe that's because it's a satin. I don't know. But let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me get real close here. All right. Is that a good angle? Okay, so it's very pigmented. It's covering the purple just fine. And it's blending in nicely with my finger. But unfortunately, it doesn't have like a lot of shine. Like, I wanted a foiled metallic shade, and it doesn't look that foiled or that metallic. It just looks like, it looks like a satin. And I really wanted this shade to have a lot more impact than unfortunately it does. So let me do this eye. And I know it really did help me to know that a lot of you guys have had the same experience. So when others left comments saying that they felt the same way, so that made me feel a lot better. But yeah, it's not a deal breaker. I would totally put on eyeliner and mascara and leave the house like this and feel great. But I was wishing for a little bit more from that shadow than what it's giving me. I kind of feel like if I told you this is an all matte look, you might buy it. Like, it doesn't really look that metallic or shimmery in any way. So let's see what Jouer can do to bump this look up. I'm gonna go in with Bikini. That's the pinker, the pinkest out of these shadows. And it's a lot lighter than the pink in the Viseart palette, but I'm gonna tap that on top where I just tapped that shimmery coral shade, and we'll see what that does. I did not intend to buy this palette, although it was on my wish list. I got this palette from a Beautylish lucky bag a few years ago. But I was really excited about it because, do you guys remember Life of a Fat Chick? She hasn't been posting videos much, or she hasn't been on Instagram much, but she loves this palette. She always really recommended it. So I was really excited when I got it in my Beautylish lucky bag. But this is my first time using it. Is Kitty biting her toenails?
Yeah.
Gross. What do you guys think? Did it make a difference? I can't even tell anymore. I'm gonna take some of that Bikini shade, that same pink shade, and apply it to my inner corner of my eye look. and a little bit on the inner part of my lower lash line. And I think I'm gonna go back in with the mattes and go over my crease one last time, because I feel like some of that shimmer got on my crease now. I should probably go over my lower lash line a little bit more with that purple too. Much better. All right, I like that. I like the Jouer Skinny Dip palette. It's very nice. I feel like maybe it was a little bit softer a few years ago, and maybe it's gotten a little old in the last couple of years of sitting in my drawer, but that's okay. We're gonna keep it moving. We're not gonna cry over that. Next, I'm going to powder my entire face with this guy. This is the Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder. I hauled this back in November, but this is my first time using it. This has been on my wish list for a couple of years. Their packaging is just so cute. My understanding of this powder is that it's extremely lightweight and it will float into your mouth and you will taste peach. So I might keep my mouth closed real tight. All right, how do I get the powder out? If it's closed, it can't come out. If it's open, I'm confused. I haven't watched a video with anybody applying this lately. I can't get it in the cap because once this is closed, the cap is sealed. But once it's open, I can't tip it. I'm gonna dump some in my hand. That seems weird too. I have a little handful of powder here. I'm gonna take my old bronzer brush and dip it in there. And dust away. Let me know how you guys apply this. I'm confused. I'm probably doing something wrong, but this is working. I have a lot of redness under my nose. I'm always rubbing my nose. Yeah, that's weird. My hand is extremely mattified though. Okay. Leave a comment down below letting me know how you apply this with what tool and how do you get the powder out of the sifter. Because this is my first time using a powder product with a sifter. Oh, I bet you dump it into the cap, don't you? I bet that's what most people do. I bet they dump it into the cap. I should have thought of that. Maybe I'll try that next time, but it worked fine dumping it into my hand. So that's good. Okay, before I do mascara and eyeliner, I have my Peach Mist Mattifying Setting Spray. This is another item I hauled back in November, and it's another item I haven't used even once, so I'm using 3 products from that haul in this video. My understanding is you really need to shake this really good, so I'm gonna shake it really good. Let's see. Okay. Not having any like chunks of white spray on my skin that I can tell. So hopefully I shook it up enough. I'm using more of my dewy mists now that we're in the middle of winter, but I'm trying to save this for summer when I do get kind of oily, but I wanted to use it for today, just something new. All right, I'm gonna apply eyeliner and mascara and I'll be right back and we'll do lips and maybe I'll do something with my hair. We'll see. Okay, the hair has been taken down. It actually looks pretty nice. You never know what you're gonna get when you take it out of a bun. Sometimes it looks like a kinky, crazy mess, and other times you got some nice curls going on, and I feel like it's a nice curl day. So the second I stopped recording a minute ago, I realized that my lips were super chapped, and so I applied this Tarte Lip Surgeons in Adored, and I'm in love with the shade. I haven't used this in so long. I have used it before, but it's basically brand new. I mean, that's it. It's still got the full tip on it, and it is such a pretty pink. And it's super comfortable, and it has a nice little minty flavor. I really like this. I was gonna so good. I was thinking about putting on a different color, but this is so comfortable. I think I'm just gonna stop right here. I had grabbed 2 other of the Tarte Lip Surgeons crayons, and I had also grabbed a matte lipstick from NYX that's brand new. I've never used it even once. Should I put this on? It just says Siren. The shade name is Siren. I don't think I want to. I think I'm just gonna leave it alone. We'll have to save this for another time. All right, let's talk about the products I used for the first time today. The highlighter in this Sugar Peach palette is very impressive. This Peach Glow shade, Peach Pearl. This Peach Pearl shade has a very nice undertone. It doesn't look like a white stripe. It looks very natural on my skin tone. And so that all you can really see is the shine. You don't really see any undertone. It's just super shine. It's just extremely, extremely shiny. I'm curious to try these 2 blushes. I'm not so sure about this one down here, this Peach Honey shade. I kind of feel like it's too light to be a bronzer and too shiny and too light to be a bronzer, but too dark to be a highlighter. Maybe I could use it as a blush. We'll see. I know I could also use it as an eyeshadow, but that's a big pan of eyeshadow, and I have a lot of eyeshadows. So I'll have to keep playing with this palette. Maybe you'll see it in Project 10 uses down the road when I have 4 open spots to put a palette in. The next product I tried out in this Get Ready With Me was from Shiseido. It's the blush in Camellia. And I have used this before, but it's been a very long time since I used it, and it is a beautiful color. I just would steer away from this dark shade too much if you're my skin color, because this dark shade has quite a punch to it. Keep the brush up here and just touch down there a little bit, and then you have enough for both cheeks. I had pulled out this highlighter, but I ended up not using it. This does have obvious glitter in it, and I'm curious to see what I'll think about that on my cheeks, because generally I don't like products with glitter in it. But I'll have to pull this in another Get Ready With Me soon and try it out. I really like the Skinny Dip from Jouer. I am a little concerned that maybe this formula has dried a bit. It's been sitting in my drawer for a couple of years untouched. And I'm wondering if it was maybe a little bit creamier 2 years ago than it is now. But that being said, it created a beautiful highlight to my eyelids. When I went in the bathroom, I could see all the little sparkles on my eyelid, and they were beautiful. I'm also pretty confident that these would look amazing if I applied them with a spritz of Fix Plus on them. So I'll have to try that down the road. But this palette has always been highly, highly recommended by anybody who's ever tried it before, and I need to put this in a project and enjoy them before they really do go bad. I really like the setting powder and the setting spray. They're both delightful. I think they would be more suited for the summer when I tend to be a little bit more shiny and oily. Both these both of these products seem to be really good for oil control. So maybe they would be the perfect product for the Labor of Love It project, which is a summertime project. So maybe I'll put these in that project when that project rolls around again, because that is generally when I tend to get oily. But I don't feel like I'm dried out or anything, or that I look really dry. I feel nice. They worked really nice for today, but I would prefer to use these in the summertime. And finally, this Tarte Chubby Stick in Adored. I have used in the past, but it has been so long since I've used it. And this is just a beautiful shade of pink. It looks so fresh and so youthful. I love it. It's very comfortable. I like it a lot. I really want to put this in a project immediately. And I don't have one to put it in yet, but I need to find one because I want to work on this now. So that was it for this Get Ready With Me. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me for a little while. Don't forget to check out Verity's channel at Red Dirt and Stardust. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.